Hey everyone, Tony again here. Wanted to bring a update to Virgin Galactic Holdings Inc. Space SPCE. A couple days ago, I did like the usual video for space Virgin Galactic, and kind of gave my little bit of a warning. And I just wanted to give a brief update. I'm not going to go into the weekly and the monthly since I did that in the previous video, which I'll link at the end. But wanted to just give the update, and so you can see that we had. So I know for sure that we ended. So the only difference that I've done to this chart, it's still the same from last time. The only difference is that I added the not EMA, the 6 simple. So the 6 simple is a very fast indicator. So basically what I noticed was on the daily adding the 6 MA, it acts like very good support and resistance even since back in November. So acting as resistance here all the way in November, and then it finally basically kind of goes parallel or even with price, starts sloping up because price takes off, and then starts acting as support. So support of December, up above it, touches support, price touches support, the 6, and actually just really goes with it. Breaks briefly through, but then goes right back above, breaks through briefly, but right back above, and ever since pretty much February 20th, which is not that long ago, it's, what is it, like, yeah, I am on a daily, jeez. So it's not February 20th, it's probably February 2nd or 3rd. Anyways, February 6th up until February 20th. There we go. That makes sense. Jeez. It's been a long day, long week. It's really behaved. Yeah, I mean, even up until today, it's still above it. So it's hard to call it the end of a bear run, of a bull run, and start of a bear. I wouldn't do that. I mean, any stock that's had this kind of a move, yeah, everybody's gonna want to call it tops, and for me, this looks super toppy, and it's a very good chance that this candle here yesterday on the 20th, that this could have been the ultimate high, but there's no guarantees, so I'm not going to be the guy that tells you that. But let me give you some reasons on why I think it may. So let me take off this. I'll redraw it later, so it's not so many things. So we have this trend line here that is still behaving very well. If we were to draw another trend line, it's going to be super steep, but kind of gives you a perspective. Let's see if we can get a couple connections here. Would this be valid? And not in my eyes. I guess the best thing we could do is just draw 45. So let's get this right there. So this trend line being a 45 from this swing low here, and granted, yeah, it's not an ultimate swing low. Let me just draw this 45 here. I don't like it that much. So I would keep an eye on this trend line to see if what happens here. Eventually, it's going to have to give. It's just there's no stock that's going to just keep being parabolic forever. But at least this will give you a good idea of when we might have some rolling over. And if it does roll over below this trend line, then we'll touch this. Most likely, this trend line here will act as support. Again, nothing too crazy. So when I said that there might be a high of 41.11 with a bit of a push and then a pullback in the previous video. I believe that's what I said. We actually went a little bit above it. We actually went to 42.49. So that was a cool little profit-taking area there for whoever was in on it. Let me try to draw an extension of this swing low. Well, I don't think that would have counted. So let me go from this swing low here and this swing high there. draw extensions. And we were actually, get this around here, 2.618. We have the 3.618. And good. So actually, yeah, that's basically exactly what happened. So let's take off the 3 for now to not make it so messy. But you can see that whoever, the market, whether you want to say that everybody knows about Fibonacci or and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, or it's just market sentiment and people just happen. But these numbers, especially the 618s, those tend to be hit. It is what it is. So you can see that we had the high hit 42.49. We had a 42.82. So the target's a little bit above, but I mean, it's pretty good for me. So that could be the top. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody knows, but reasons of how I know it for a fact that it's a top is we roll over this trend line, we roll over below this 6 MA moving average, and then we start testing the 20 EMA alongside with this trend line here. The 50s rolling on up. We have horizontal here, so there's a lot of support in this region here, and it's not, well, actually it is. It's right now it's at 34, and this horizontal is at 20. So it'll be a decent retracement. Now, how far of a retracement? Let me take this extension out, and this extension doesn't really mean much to me anymore. So I'm going to take this sucker out, and then where will we most likely see a pullback? So let me draw that swing low, swing high, go back to my fibs, and then the 38.2 is actually down here at the 28 level, which if we have a decent pull, it looks like it might be on its way down to the 28. It's already at 33. Maybe down to the 50% level. It'll still be acting as support here with the trend line. The trend line will be acting as support. And but I think I even said this in a previous video. Let me see if it lined up. It was a little bit below the horizontal, but now there's a little bit even more confluence with that horizontal with this new high. So the 61.8 being just above, it's 50 cents above that horizontal. So that looks like pretty good support there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we roll over and test that $20 range, 20, 20, 50, $21. That would make sense. If it breaks below that, then I'd be seriously concerned. But we can go down, test that, and then start working our way up. That's kind of what I see, and I didn't want to give anybody, just wanted to give another public service announcement. I did one the other day with Tesla, and I keep saying it, and I sound like a broken record, but nobody knows what's going to happen. Not me, not even Elon Musk most likely won't know what's going to happen with Tesla, Richard Branson with Virgin Galactic. Maybe they do. I mean, they're powerful people, so they may know something. But at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen, really. The market's going to do what they're going to do, and people react irrationally and very emotionally. And that's why all these prices get driven to insane levels. And yeah, so the purpose of these videos is for me to kind of sort of teach. I don't want to sound as like that guy who's trying to teach everybody, but because there's other channels that'll probably do a better job than that. But at least give another perspective on these stocks, and for you to be just a little bit aware and not to buy up here. So wait for a pullback. That's my best advice, really. That's just really the best that I can tell anybody. So I would be willing to, if I'm thinking about going long on Virgin Galactic, and I'm not, I'm not that interested in this stock. I would be waiting for a pullback between the 61.8 and 78.6. So between $21 and $14. That would be the zone that I'm going to be buying at if I were interested. I'm not at the moment. And at that point, by the time this happens, most likely this 200 EMA is going to come up, and the 200 EMA is going to be, it's always very, very strong support. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes all the way down here. Let me draw some crappy little possible test break, you know, and then by this time, this is creeping on up, and then that might be where, you know, where you form a sort of bottom, and then who knows from there. And I'm not even saying that this is going to happen. This is just based on my experience. It's likely, um, and yeah. So don't get drawn into this craziness, and uh, and don't get mad at me if it keeps going up and you didn't buy in. It's do your own research, man. This is just advice, and hopefully you don't buy up here. You there's a pullback. You buy down low. You hold, and hopefully you make some profit. So what else can we use to confirm this? So we have these trend lines. This 6MA, not EMA. The 6MA acting support. If it breaks there, then we have the 20 EMA and this trend line of support. But what's another reason for me to consider price going down? Well, we have this RSI divergence that was sort of in play, but not really confirmed. Well, now it has confirmed in my eyes. We have slightly lower highs, but yet much higher highs in price. So you see price shot up here, yet we have a lower high down here on the RSI. So that for me is a big heads up. It's finally breaking below, well, not finally, it broke down here as well, but it is breaking below the 80. So I have it pretty high in my, you know, default is 70. I have it at 80. So it is breaking down. It's still bullish. It's just things are pointing to this being a good point for a pullback. We have the earnings coming up, which I think I mentioned previously. So this could be a case of, you know, buy the rumor, sell the, what is it? Buy the rumor, sell the news. I think that's what it is. I hope it is. So just be careful, because if anything in these earnings are just a hint worse, then you could see this tank all the way down to the 200 EMA quickly, like very quickly, maybe even below that. So just be careful. Not financial advice. I wouldn't be buying up here. If I was long, and again, I'm not, but if I were, I would be looking for at least between the $14 and $21 range to go in. If you're like super bullish on the stock, then just layer it in. You know, put a buy at 61.8, a buy at which is the $20.50, yeah, $20.50. Maybe another one around 18 or 17.50. Another one down here at 14.50 something. So that way you're averaging it if it does dump all the way down here. And if it dumps below the 200, then maybe it's time to cut your losses. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to update all of you with. Stochastic is pinned on the overextended. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to roll over, but if we see that that it goes below the 80, yeah, that's another reason for me to, and it's right there. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, it's right there. I mean, the D, I believe it's the D. I always confuse these. Yeah, the D and essentially what is the K is about to break below the 80. So the red one is just a smoothed out average. So when that one breaks below it, it's not going to be, you know, it's not the prettiest of pictures. So yeah, I think that's enough of an update. If you wanted more of my, you know, my bigger analysis on this, was it was a couple days ago. I'll link it again. And that one includes the monthly and the weekly, which really don't, honestly, it doesn't really have much info because it's a relatively new stock. And most of the action that's happened has been since November, which we're kind of seeing here. But hey, if you love Virgin Galactic, you want to see some more information, then that's available. So if you like the video, please like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video with somebody you know might enjoy this. And thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next one.